Hi there, my name's Andy Whitmore. I'm a record producer. I've been doing it for over 25 years. I've had 14 top 10 hits with Peter Andre, Eternal, Kavanagh. Played keyboards on 50 hit records, including Soul to Soul, Elton John, and many others. So you're an artist, you're doing well, you've made your record and you're really happy with it. You've played it to all your mates and everyone loves it. How do you get it to the next level? Well, that's what we're going to cover today. Number one, get your records checked out by a top producer. Once he's agreed the records, then you move on to your contacts. If the producer is not happy with the tracks, then you've got to look at getting them reproduced, get them up to that mastering level. Ultimate respect. My attitude throughout my whole career is just to show ultimate respect to people that I work for, especially ones who've had major success. I did a lot of work for Malcolm McLaren. He had hits with Buffalo Girls and he also managed Sex Pistols. He was an absolute legend. You know, some of his ideas were just crazy, and I'd be working with a team of 3 or 4 people that I put together, and I'd be the only person who actually had respect for the ideas, and the other people would think, oh my God, he's mad. When Malcolm wasn't about, I would give my guys a chance, because if they didn't start showing them respect, I'd have to let them go, because I've got to have total respect in the room. Show ultimate respect to the people that are successful, and you can learn a lot off them. If you take the attitude that people got to earn your respect, even though they've had hits or whatever, it's not going to be great for the relationship between you and them. Consistency. Whenever I used to turn up to sessions, and I still do this now, you work at 110%. You give it your absolute all. I tend to limit it to 8-hour sessions these days, because after an 8-hour session, if you're totally on it, you're exhausted. Don't be laid back about work, especially when people are paying money for you. Give it your all, and great value for money. That way you get rebooked, that you get recommended, your career moves forward, and the people you're working for, their career moves forward because they've got great product. Taking risks. I've always taken risks. In my 20s, I even went as far as risking my flat. I had a studio in my flat. One night, my neighbour smashed the wood door down, came upstairs, had blood coming down his arm because he cut himself. He was ready to destroy my studio because he couldn't take it anymore. And me, being a 20-year-old stubborn nightmare neighbour, just said, oh, you got an hour to fix my door before I call the police. And he scuppered away. I decided that maybe I need to buy a house, and I thought, right, well, the first thing I need to do is get a studio. And I went to my accountant, told him what I was going to do, and he said, don't do it, you'll go bankrupt if you do it. And I said, right, well, I'm going to do it. And I had a job come in, and I got everything set up. The job turned up, and literally moved into the house on Saturday, and I was doing my first job on Monday. It's a really bad vibe on the session, and after about 6 hours they blew me out, and I thought, oh my goodness, I've taken all this massive risk. And a week's work's been blown out. And of course, it was a great idea. A day later or 2 days later, another job came in and I was off. If you take risks and you're positive, even if things don't work out the way you think they're going to work out, they will work out. Don't digress. You've decided you want to be a singer and you're going to sing and it's going really well, and then someone goes, oh my goodness, you look amazing. Why don't you model this, model that? If you start following whoever happens to give you some advice, you can end up going in 100 directions. You spend loads and loads of time doing loads and loads of work, loads and loads of setup work, startup work, and ultimately you're not going to move forward very much. If you decide you want to be a singer or a keyboard player or a programmer or a studio owner, and you stick at it, and 3 years later you're still doing it, already you are in an elite bag. This business is completely overrun with people that hang in there for 2 years and give up. Sometimes, having a backup career and all that is actually a bad thing, because, it gives you options, and if you've got options, you can pull out. So the direction I took, 100% win or 100% lose, which in itself is a risk, but if it works out, then that's a good way forward. So I'm really appreciative of meeting Pete Bassett. I met him through Steve Tanner about 10 years ago, and I love his company, quite great PR. And recently met Hugo, who's been very encouraging. They've been very, very strong for some of my acts. My name's Andy Whitmore. I've got a studio in West London called Greystoke Studio. We've had 14 top 10s. I've also played keyboards on 50 hit records. We've had hits with Alexander O'Neill, Lamar, Lisa Scott Lee, Atomic Kitten. Produced the number one, which I also co-wrote with Peter Andre, Flavor. But I also remixed Mysterious Girl with him, which was a great mix. And I've produced numerous albums, Emanate as well. If you're interested in working with me, just Google Andy Whitmore. My emails, it lights up like a Christmas tree. I've also got my own production team at Omni Vibe, and that's with a 3. Check it out. We've got 4 albums out there at the moment. It's taken off really big. We've got 12,000 listeners a month at the moment, and it's increasing.